Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the newly renovated South Lobby of the Simon Scott Assembly Hall. And when I say newly renovated, I mean newly renovated with extremely tall statues that make me look like a dwarf, because of the donations from Bill and Juanita Beach. Now, the two individuals donated a large sum of money because they wanted to bring some of IU's history to the South Lobby to teach future generations about some of the biggest moments in IU basketball history. Now, when you're looking at those biggest moments, you've got an Everett Dean statue representing the first All-American in program history. You've got a Bill Garrett statue, the first African-American basketball player to ever play in the Big Ten. You've got this 1976 perfect season statue behind me, representing some of the seniors and starters on that team. And then along with that, you've got Isaiah Thomas and his 1981 layup against North Carolina, and then the shot and the shooter, Steve Alford and Keith Smart from the 1987 team in their national championship. In addition to all this, there are monuments out front now representing each national championship team.
I got a Spotify account.
Yeah, I got something like that. But luckily, the third member of our team, Eddie Cotton, knows a lot about the music. Eddie, what are some of your thoughts on the intros?
Thanks, Griffin. Now, obviously, there's a lot to break down that just happened. We had the player intros, Archie Miller speaking and Terry Morin speaking, but I think something that can't go unnoticed has been some of the song choices to those introductions. Now, what I'm looking at and what I always look at is that freshman class, their first introduction to the Hoosier faithful. What songs are they choosing? You look at Clifton Moore, he goes with Ball Player by Meek Mill. He's from Pennsylvania. Meek Mill is from Pennsylvania. Then you've got Al Durham coming out to I Get the Bag by Migos and Gucci Mane, both from Atlanta, from Georgia. And then even Race Thompson, the red shirt, coming out to Minnesota by Lil Yachty. You guessed it, Race Thompson, he's from Minnesota. And then I think the most important selection, though, has nothing to do with location. Justin Smith coming out to March Madness by Future. I'm not saying he's trying to predict the future, but foreshadowing might be his forte. Back to you guys.
Who's with an Indiana legend right now, Eddie.
Indiana Hoosier legend, and you actually coached Allie Patberg back in her AAU days. What was your experience like with her? What should the Hoosier faithful be looking for?
Well, they're going to get a kid that just loves the game of basketball, a true Indiana basketball player that works very hard. Obviously has had a tremendous amount of success. Since she's started in college, had a few injuries, but she's back where she needs to be now at IU, so looking for big things from her.
Now, you're an IU basketball legend, so you have the right to speak on this program however you'd like. What do you think of the future of the program?
I think it's in great hands. I think Coach Miller is doing and saying the right things. Obviously, it's going to take a couple of years to turn things around. Anytime you bring in a new coach with a new system, new style, that type of thing, it's going to take a little bit of time. So I think if we're patient, we're definitely going to be headed back in the right direction.
Thank you very much, Damon. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you very much.
We're out there in the shooting competition. Tell me a little bit about how much you've been working on your shooting stroke this offseason.
I've been working on it a lot, and just it was more of a confidence thing. I tell myself before every shot goes in that it's cash every single time. And with that, I think it just opened up, I guess, my shooting more. And every time it goes up, I feel like it's going in.
Now, you're a part of a special era here at Indiana basketball with Archie Miller starting up here at the program. What's it like? What have you seen? And what's it been like under Archie?
It's been a lot different, of course, just getting used to all the new coaching staffs, all their tendencies and things like that. But I think it's been good so far. Everybody's really bought into it. And I think just everybody sticking together with each other really helped us get through it.
Now, lastly, you're an upperclassman. Do you feel like a leader now? Do you take that responsibility?
Yes, especially with Colin being out last year, realizing that I couldn't wait to, I guess, take that leadership role. But now that I put myself in the mold, I think I should do it. Having Colin back as well, I think that just makes the team even better.
Well, absolutely. Thank you very much, Juwan. Back to you guys. You've been through a lot prior to coming to Indiana. What makes you feel like you're prepared for this program?
Well, I think the last 15 years I've been training high-level athletes, whether it's an NBA player, a Major League Baseball player, or an NFL player. Over the last 10 years, I've been blessed to train more than 400 pros, and I've also been able to train as a consultant with the Xavier Musketeer men's basketball team, and also the Dayton Fire men's basketball team, which is where I met Coach Miller.
Now, looking specifically at this program, what are your goals in regards to strength and conditioning?
I want each and every athlete, from the top of the roster to the bottom of the roster, to be the best version of themselves. Every offseason, we have to ask ourselves, are they stronger and faster than they were the year before?
Now, one of the biggest transformations we've been hearing about this offseason was Deron Davis. Can you walk me through his journey?
Yeah, when I got here, the first meeting I had with Coach Miller was actually in regards to Deron Davis. You know, Deron was out of shape. When we got here, he was overweight, and right away we attacked it with a lifestyle change. So I told him, I said, if we're going to drop weight, it's going to be done in the kitchen. And so he started what we called the caveman diet, which was lean meats, green vegetables, and fruits. And then we also really got after it in the weight room, and we did extra cardio every day, whether it was boxing, underwater treadmill, you know, working out in the sand pit. And throughout the course of the summer, he's dropped more than 20 pounds, 6%, dropped 6% body fat, added almost 9 inches on his vertical jump, and also he's gotten stronger throughout the course of the summer as well.
Thank you very much, Coach. Back to you guys.
All right, can you break it up a little bit?
I heard Max mention those golden jerseys, and I thought I'd come in here and bring a little bit more to that. Archie Miller actually got that idea back in 2009 when he was an assistant coach for his brother Sean Miller at Arizona, and it was Archie's job to keep track of all the players, keep track of the points, and he would actually have conversations with guys every week. Anybody who wanted more minutes in the game, they come with complaints, and Archie would just say, look at the points you've accumulated this week. Not enough for me to say you should be a starter. So that's the way he's going to bring that accountability here to the Hoosiers, as we see Devontae Green earn that gold jersey this week. And as a reward, Devontae Green doesn't have to run sprints. Back to you guys.
After we get a couple substitutions, let's go over to Eddie Cotton.
Thanks, guys. I've just been chilling here over on the white bench. It's not weird. I've just been observing Archie Miller just because we have not seen him coach before, and he's really been like a silent observer out there, not getting very agitated, not yelling a lot. He's actually letting Tom Ostrom do a lot of the yelling and projecting onto the court. It's interesting to watch his kind of demeanor and how he carries himself, and it'll be interesting to watch as we move forward into the regular season. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Archie Miller, he's that real straightforward guy. We've seen him be able to get agitated, and he can yell a little bit, but you know, right now, as Eddie mentioned, maybe he just wants to observe to see how the team moves together.
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys. I'm not Griffin Weinberg. I'm Eddie Cotton here, back on the sideline again, chilling out by the white team's bench. Now, I just wanted to mention that Colin Hartman hasn't come into the game yet because he rolled his ankle this past week. Nothing serious, but we'll be interested to see maybe if he comes in later in the game, but I don't think so. He's played a really strong role as almost like a coach here on the sidelines, just like he did all of last year, and he's going to serve as that important leader throughout the season. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Hartman, one of those players who's just been dinged up a little bit during practice. Assembly Hall, we got 12 more minutes to play here. Griffin Weinberg, Max Bielfeld, and Eddie Cotton. We got breaking news.
Breaking news indeed. Hold your horses, everybody. Hold on to whatever you've got. Archie Miller, you mentioned, Max, that he can make the rules if he wants to. He has switched sides here. He has moved on to the red bench now, so maybe that'll change the way this game goes. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but you guys can talk about it. Back to you, Griff.
You know, I hope this is the only time this year he switches benches.
Right now, Eddie, who else do we got from IU?
Well, thanks, Griff. I couldn't help but overhear you talking about OG Anunoby so much, so I did some little quick research here on the sidelines, and Indiana is actually tied for the lead in the Big Ten with Hoosiers in the Pro, with Michigan State with 9 in the NBA. You're looking at guys like Troy Williams, Noah Vonleh, Victor Oladipo, and of course the guys you mentioned, Thomas Bryant and James Blackman Jr., making that opening roster, both of them actually averaging 2.3 points per game so far in their first 2 games this season. Back to you, Griff. Thanks, guys. Now, Ed, this is your first time in front of this Hoosier crowd in this new era. What did that mean to you?
Well, it was just incredible, the reception of the crowd for not only our staff but players. I mean, this was it was a great night.
Now, when you're looking at the upcoming schedule, you have 2 exhibitions. What does this team need to fix and improve upon before the regular season starts?
First, we need to get everybody healthy, especially the key guys. That's the first thing. We've got to take care of the ball a lot better. That's been an emphasis in practice and turned it over way too much again today.
Well, thank you very much, Coach.